So what I want to talk about with you guys today is what I think are your 3 keys to success in terms of reaching your health and fitness goals. Now, one thing that is, I believe, and what a lot of people strongly believe, is that a strong body is a strong mind, and a strong mind is a strong body. You can't really have one without the other, because if I feel good, if I'm confident in how I look, I'm confident in how I feel, I just physically feel better, then mentally I'm more clear in my day-to-day decisions. That means I can have better relationships, I can have a better career, I can be more spiritually in tuned as well, in order to not only achieve my health and fitness goals, but also my professional and my life goals and my relationship goals as well. Now, how I want you to think about these keys is, you can think about it kind of like a pie chart here, but really the best way to think about it is, and honestly I just couldn't draw this image, so that's why it's in this kind of pie chart format, but is to think about it like a 3-pronged, either like a bar stool or an end table or something that has 3 legs, and each leg has 33% of the weight on that platform holding it up. If I take out one of those legs, it teeter-totters and it falls over. The table cannot stand without all 3 legs. If I take one away, or I put too much focus into one, no matter how strong that leg is, one single leg cannot hold up a end table that has 3 legs. And I say that because a lot of people don't think about it that way. They don't think about having 33% in this basket, this basket, and this basket. They'll put too many eggs into one single basket, like training or training and nutrition, and they will ignore lifestyle. Or they'll do training, they'll do lifestyle, but then they won't do nutrition. And they'll kind of wonder why they aren't where they want to be from a health and fitness standpoint, because they aren't taking care of everything. They're doing too much of one thing, or they're completely ignoring one of those legs of that table. Now, what I've come across in my almost 10 years of being a fitness coach is that most people will put a lot of emphasis in training and nutrition, or just training, and they will completely ignore the 3rd leg, which is lifestyle. And I think a big reason for that, and something that I want to cover today, is that they don't see how their lifestyle correlates to training and nutrition. They just think, if I train hard, if I have a good structured training program, if I have really good nutrition, I will reach my goals. And some people wonder why they aren't reaching their goals, because they're missing that 3rd piece. But not only are they missing it, but they don't understand exactly how it fits into their training and nutrition plan. They don't understand, or they are maybe not aware of how it can impact their goals. So let's start with training and nutrition, okay, and then we'll get into kind of lifestyle. So training, and when I say training, it should really probably say training/exercise, because training isn't something that you're doing in the gym. It's really about what you're doing from a day-to-day standpoint, from a movement standpoint that's working you towards your goals, right? If my goal is to run a marathon or half marathon in the next 6 months, but I'm only in the gym strength training, I will look better, I'll get stronger, but I won't get any better or in any better shape specifically for running. Obviously, you need to strength train in order to have good goals when it comes to running, because more muscle means better connective tissue health, things like that. But I won't actually improve my times in running if I don't run. Then vice versa. If I'm trying to look better, lean out, have a stronger, more filled out physique, but I'm constantly running all the time and I'm not doing any strength training, then obviously you're not going to have that nice toned look as well, if you're not adding in any weight training there. So training is just any kind of daily movement that you're doing that involves exercise that is reaching you or going to help you towards your goals. Now, like I said, this could be running, this could be strength training, this could be taking daily walks to hit a step goal in order to help with digestion, or muscle recovery, or to burn extra calories. It's anything that is a structured plan, or is structured to you in order to get you to your goals. So that's one leg, or that's 33%, of the pie. The next thing would be nutrition. So this is anything that you eat and how it kind of affects your health, both mentally and physically, because a lot of stuff that we eat affects our health, both physically, but then also mentally. Now, if we are putting too many eggs into the training basket and not enough eggs into the nutrition basket, then we don't have kind of the amount of maybe protein that we need in order to recover. We don't have the amount of carbs to give us the energy maybe to go on the runs. So the nutrition correlates to what you're doing for training. And it also goes with what you're doing with lifestyle, because I talked about training. This is how these are all going to kind of intersect. I just talked about training and how training is anything that you do in movement. But then I talked about how when you go for walks, that increases blood flow, which can help with digestion. Well, that goes back to nutrition. The habits and the routines and the rituals from lifestyle can also go into training. I'm getting a little into the weeds here, but that's kind of how you can see how they are all kind of correlated, right? So let's kind of go back to nutrition here for 1 second. So how nutrition is important is because if I'm going running, right, I'm training specifically for, let's use that half marathon kind of example. If I'm doing a half marathon, my diet is going to look slightly different than someone that's trying to build muscle, because I'm going to have to eat a lot of carbs, because I'm going to need a lot of energy in order to run, to train, to make sure that I'm properly recovering, so my glycogen stores are good, so that way I'm not I have a lot of energy to burn over long periods of time, right? If I'm strength training, I don't have that long, extended kind of consistent fuel need. So I maybe need to focus on more protein than that person that, that's just an example, but how like your nutrition goals can affect your training, and they can go kind of vice versa there. And sometimes when I say nutrition, people instantly think like weighing food, tracking food, and everything. That is a part of it, or it can be a part of it. But what I mean is just basic kind of nutrition needs. Am I eating enough vegetables? Am I eating enough fruits? Am I eating enough protein to kind of maintain my muscle mass and my connective tissue? Am I eating enough fats and grains to help with my digestion and my gut health and everything along those lines? So it doesn't necessarily mean tracking specifically, even though if my goal is to gain weight, lose weight, that could be a part of it. But what I'm talking about is an understanding of nutrition and how that impacts you. And tracking certainly could be a part of that. Now let's move kind of to the third one, which is lifestyle. So lifestyle is like habits, routines, rituals, your mindset, your perceptions, your view towards yourself, your view on the world. Like a lot of that stuff comes into lifestyle, right? You're probably wondering, well, how does lifestyle affect my training and nutrition? So one way that lifestyle has an impact on your training is because if I get into the habit or the routine of waking up early, going to the gym and training, I've then built the habit to not miss a training session, right? If I build habits, routines, and rituals about meal prepping, going to the grocery store at a certain time, meal prepping at this time, so I have X, Y, and Z meals prepped out for me, then that lifestyle is also impacting what I do for nutrition. So now my lifestyle has a net positive on not only my training but my nutrition, because of the habits, the routines, and the rituals that I do outside of training and outside of nutrition to then have a nice, prosperous, and flourished kind of complete training program. So that's how your lifestyle would impact your training, nutrition, and overall your results. Now, another thing that lifestyle has a impact on is your mindset and your perceptions. Your mindset and your perceptions is going to funnel you either forward or backwards towards your goals. If I have a negative mindset towards training, if I have a negative mindset towards nutrition, I don't want to eat this certain thing because, I'd rather eat a pizza, or I don't want to go to training because it's hard, then you're never going to reach your goals, because your mindset, your perceptions, things in your lifestyle are preventing you from moving forward physically because of how you mentally view yourself, the world, others in a either positive or a negative light. So what we need to do is we need to work on our mindset and our perceptions, our habits, our routines, and our rituals in order for those things to be a positive thing towards us hitting our training targets, our nutrition targets, so we can have success overall in our health and fitness goals. So one way that we can do that is have just like you would have a structured training program and a structured nutrition plan, you should have a structured lifestyle plan. One thing in there, a big thing that we do with all of our clients is we have them read 10 pages of a self-development book, or listen to an audiobook, or listen to a podcast, some kind. It doesn't matter what it is, everyone's different, but you can listen to something that is going to move you forward. It has to move your mindset forward. You have to learn a new skill. You have to do something that is going to help how you perceive challenging and difficult things, to overcome them, to use those either failures or whatever you want to call them to help move you forward. But if I don't have a plan there, then anytime something challenging happens, then the first thing that you're going to do is, this is hard and challenging. I don't really know how to deal with this, so I'm just going to stay away from that. Well, without challenge, or without failures, or without anything being difficult, the reward is then less, right? If something is inherently harder, which is health and fitness, if it's hard to get to my goals, if it's harder to do that, if it was super easy to do it, then it wouldn't be as sought after. It wouldn't be a value. If I didn't get to live longer, if I didn't get to feel confident, if I didn't have more mental clarity, then no one would want to improve their health. But you do get those things from improving your health. So it has immense value. Well, when things have immense value, then they are inherently harder to achieve, right? Top level positions at work, right? Being, a star in a sport, like, it's very hard. It's, rare. So that means that it's going to be inherently harder to do. Anytime we do something harder and we have pushback, or we hit a plateau, or something, a big obstacle comes up, if we are prepared for that with our routines in our daily life, with how we have prepared for our training, how we prepared for our nutrition, how we view the world, how we view those obstacles, then we will be better prepared to be successful when those things come. Now, I spent a lot of time in this video kind of on lifestyle, because I think that is a key piece that people aren't doing. They're missing out on 33% of the things that they need to do in order to reach their goals. And if we're just putting a couple eggs of our basket into nutrition, we split that in half, that's like 15%. You're missing out on like 40-45% of what's actually going to get you to your goals. Don't be mistaken. Training is very important, but it's not the only thing. If I'm not doing nutrition, I'm not doing lifestyle, then you're just wasting energy, you're wasting time, you're wasting money possibly on doing something that's going to work for a little bit, but it's not going to get you to your goals all the way, or fulfill your goals to the maximum of your ability. So in ending this video, what I want you guys to do is I want you to think about, what are some habits, what are some routines, and what are some rituals that I need to do? And think about how the lifestyle category is going to affect training and nutrition. Do I have a set schedule when I go and I work out? Do I have a set schedule when I'm going to get my steps in? Do I have a set schedule when I'm going to go to the grocery store, when I'm going to prep my meals? Or is it just kind of loosey-goosey, at complete random, right? If it's at complete random, there's no structure to it. How likely are you that you're actually going to stick to that plan? Probably not very well, right? But if I have some kind of a structure to it, if I know when I'm going to train, if I know when I'm going to the grocery store, if I know when I'm going to, cook my meals or prep my snacks for the day, then you're much likely to more likely to hit your training and nutrition goals. Same thing with your mindset, right? We just talked about how when we have those obstacles and they're challenging, that we need to make sure that we are prepared for when we hit those obstacles, okay? Am I reading, self-development book? Am I meditating? Am I practicing on de-stressing? Am I challenging, my views and my perceptions towards not only myself, right? But how I view, other people, how I view the world and everything. And is that leading me to, a positive life, or is that leading me to a negative life? If you are current, and one tip that I would give, if you are where you are and you don't want to be where you're at, is what you're doing getting you farther away from where you currently are, which would be positive, right? Or is it leading you down the path that's going to keep you where you are, right? Even if it's a little bit, if it's getting me out of where I'm currently at, it's getting me to somewhere where I want to be, right? Then do I need to double down? Do I need to do more of that? Do I kind of need to change up, how I'm doing it to increase the speed? Or do I need to just do a 180 to get me out of, my current situation? I can't answer that for you. Only you can. But I hope that this video, in this audio version, if you're listening to it on just audio, gives you kind of a different thought about why lifestyle, why habits, why routines and rituals and your mindset and your perception are so impactful towards your training and nutrition goals, ultimately leading you to success. So I want to challenge you on that in order for you guys to be successful. If you guys like videos like this, podcasts like this, make sure you're following the podcast. Leave a review if you like it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can bring you guys more content, long-form content, going over specific areas like this. And then I hope to see you all soon, and we'll chat soon.